Jesus, okay. I think we're back at it. Oh, that's right in my face. Alrighty. Oh boy. Okie dokie, we are back at it. And hello again. I'm sure nobody's tuning in yet because we just started, but we are here. My goodness, it's been a long night. We got 2 servers up, which is good. And we are working on the very last one. I have let Tony actually take the reins completely on this one. So if it doesn't work, it's on him.
Yeah, probably. But it's gonna work.
And so yeah, that's. I didn't realize we also had some extra fans here. So unfortunately, although people might revert back to this stream, we bought the wrong 80mm fans. These are high RPM fans that require a special fan controller hub, and ours is a generic fan controller hub, so it's not going to be able to run these. But once we do get the proper fan controller for these things are going to fly. So that's positive. Yeah, man, this is it. This is what it's all about. The final pièce de résistance. So what I'll do is I'll actually put a little bit of music on. So, let's see. I don't know if I can get the music playing. I don't think I can. Oh well, we'll work on that for the next stream. There we go with that. All right, so Tony's just finishing up the fans, and soon to have everything in place here. So although the cables are a disaster, this actually looks like it's done pretty well. So Tony's gone ahead and plugged in all the power to all the A2000s, and actually reasonably well done on the cable management. I'm impressed. And yeah, the spacing looks good. And the only things we need to plug in are the SATA connection. Again, look at all these cables, but SATA connection over here to SATA 1. And that's there. And we need to plug in the 24 pin and the CPU pin over here on the end.
Do we need to plug this one for this one?
We will, yes. So let's plug in first. Let's get these out of the way. So this is the CPU power here. We'll end up zip tying all this shit anyways. And this is a 24 pin, so it's grouped through. So when you plug in the 24 pin, you try to dodge all of the blue cables and route it in a way that it's. Why is there only two? Why is there 2 CPU pins here? Is this a special connection?
No, it should just be on one side. So
Yeah, it's the right side. No, but there's 2 CPU ports.
I think. You only need to plug it for one of them.
Yeah, I was trying to plug it in, and I can't seem to put it in. That's why I was wondering if there was like a. I can tell if it's by looking at the pinouts. So that's a square, that's a square. No, that should work. So, yeah, okay. We're just being silly here. Actually, we're not being silly. That's not. Okay, there's one piece. Jeez Louise. This is the hardest CPU pin I've ever put in. What? Come on, you fucking thing. Holy shit. There we go. Okay. I don't know why this is like causing so much issues, but one side went in, and the other side is like just not wanting to go in. Oh, there we go. Oh, hallelujah. Holy jeez. That was awful. I'm gonna zip tie this. So instead of like pushing them out of the way, like see where like it's gonna feather through. Right, so the natural course of this one is to go to the left. These are going to be zip tied down over here. So I can move that underneath. Cable management sake. So you can go ahead and zip tie those 4 down. And yeah, you gotta see the flow of the natural movement of the cables to help with the cable management here. So now see how it sort of parts the way for you. It's like it's a clear direction of where it's going to go because everything is kind of out of the way. Cable management in server cases is extremely crucial. Because of the airflow. If it's blocked by a whole bunch of cables, then the airflow gets screwed and there's hot pockets and you can't get the air out. So we're going to leave this outside of here and then grab one of these, tie him taut here. Nice. Alright, so this one kind of is annoying. So I'm going to take this out, take this out, flip you around, flip you. I don't like this thing. We're going to get a different one. It's got 90 degree and it's not on 90 degrees, so. Then, nice. There's the now. Nice. All right, get that hunger going. I am ready to power through this shit. These are all hideous. So we have 4 extra fans here. Sweet. Okay, that's better than nothing. So we're going to zip tie them basically like right here. But yeah. But where are we going to put this guy. So yeah, basically this is just going to go to these, so we can put this wherever we need to. So like now, what I want to do is make sure that 1, 2, 3, 4, and where is a fan header? Oh, there's one right here. Okay, perfect. All right, so all right, donne-moi.
You're just tying it to
Just
this
smaller one. I have thinner ones, smaller ones. Okay, so I'm just gonna tie one of these loop-de-loop and move you out of the way, and voila. All right. Like it's hot in here, man. Sorry. AC is just unreal. It's not working.
It's been a longer one.
Yeah, just a small one. Goes right through here. All right, we'll bring this down to the server room as well. Okay, that is there.
Is it facing the right direction?
Yep. Nope. Fuck. I thought I had checked that. Ugh. Alright, that's why we have zip ties. They're easily just to be taken off. Make sure not to cut any wire. And we do that again. So we need it like this. Yes. All right. Let's do that again. Get the tiny one. Come through here. Sweet. All right, we're back, buds.
It says,
We are back.
Ryan Shaberi, I missed beginning. Quick summary of the problems, please.
All right, so the first server we had the issue. Let's see here. We updated the BIOS. Actually, that was the solution, which was really interesting. So what would happen was we would boot up, and the first one.
It was a mining board, right? So
Yeah, it was the mining board. So I assumed that it should just boot up without the BIOS update. And what was happening was one of the cards was malfunctioning, and even if I moved the card from one slot to another, it would still report malfunctioning. In fact, if I moved it to a different slot, I would have more than one malfunctioning, so it would cause the other ones to malfunction as well.
did you upgrade or downgrade the BIOS?
So I upgraded the BIOS, but what was interesting about that mining motherboard is that it only had one version, like one newer version available, and the only thing that was reported in that version available was something about Bitcoin. Like it didn't have any like improvements to, I mean anything really. It didn't change, like it didn't add anything. It just said like Bitcoin something rather. I was like, okay, well that's not going to fix our issue. But I updated it, and the card stopped malfunctioning, so that worked. We updated the Hive OS 2, and that. So that one finally got working. We got all 8 cards up and running. It's done. The second one that we just finished right now, the issue, again, we updated the BIOS. Yeah, it would boot. The solution to the second issue was it would boot and then it would go blank screen as soon as you went into Hive. So it would see all 8 cards or it would freeze. And it was freezing like too often. Like we couldn't even get into the BIOS. It was freezing way too much. So we took out all the cards, put in just one, and then we went into the BIOS and changed everything to Gen 2. So the PCI lanes were in Gen 2 and we upgraded the BIOS. And then bada bing, bada boom, she's up and running. And I'll show you guys as soon as we go downstairs. What in the hell is this? What kind of a connection is that? Weird. We have kind of a mix mash of...
This can go into like when the...
Yeah, we have a mix mash of fans here because we bought the wrong fans. So that was a little bit of my fault.
But the 3 can actually, like, it can fit into the 4.
No.
If it's like the original, the one that you bought.
Oh yeah. So the ones that we ordered, I should have looked at them, but unfortunately they're high RPM. So once we do get the fan splitter for them, they're like, why don't you show them on screen? Pull it up to the screen.
So these are the fans that we bought. It's 3000 RPM, 12 volts. But if you look at the pins, like the actual pin, these are 2, pins, and our fan hub is 4 pins. So if you look at this fan hub here, that connects 10 fans together, the pins on each one is 4. So the 2 pins wouldn't go into it, and therefore we had to get another one of these fan hubs.
Alright, so I'm just actually hardwiring there's enough header fans on this that we don't necessarily need the hub, so that's good. We will eventually use those fans again, the higher RPM ones that we just bought, because they're really good fans and they're better than these for sure. Alright, so we got to plug in the power button and then secure all of these down, and we're going to bring you guys down to the mining room so you can see the final process of us booting up the last server and getting it all up and running. It looks awesome down there. I'm really happy with the outcome. All my hard planning and work has finally paid off, which is really cool. The thermals down there, it's freezing cold. Oh, did you plug in? What did you plug in the power here? What's this? Oh, what is this? What cable is this? Is this just a... Oh, you plugged in that. That was like the original power switch, okay. I don't know what... Oh, did you put another switch in here, or... Where is this?
You can take it out though. Yeah, it's not supposed to plug it in.
You put the motherboard on top of it. you screwed it on the motherboard on top of that. All right, there we go. That's not the power switch we're using. We're using this one here. Okay, why can't I see where the power button goes? Oh Jesus, they make these things so fucking annoyingly hard to read. Like, how are you supposed to read that? Do you have a light? I mean, I am blind, but this is ridiculous. The power connectors for all motherboards there needs to be something different here. I think it's on this side. I think it's right
Yeah, it's using.
There, you can do it. I can't see from that angle. Anyway, so yeah, we've had an adventure for sure, and it's been, I mean, nice. All right. Last time it was even worse. Last time we didn't get any of them up and running because we just tried to power through like 3 of them at the same time. So we did nothing good. We just did a whole bunch of shit, like half-assed. So this one we were focused on, okay, just one server, and then the next server, and it seems to be working out a lot better. So what we're gonna do, I believe this thing's ready to boot up. I think we're gonna need the BIOS for this one as well, right? Or no?
Yeah.
Have you had?
No.
You've never used?
Never used this motherboard.
You've never used this motherboard. Okay. So we'll need to get. So I need to search up this motherboard type. So you've actually never used this motherboard at all?
No.
Oh wow, why'd you have it?
I bought it as part of combos because back then, like the graphic cards were so difficult to get that.
Oh my
you buy the bundle.
goodness.
That's why I have like 750 watts.
Oh my gosh, they have all this hardware that you've never used.
I've sold most of them. This is a residual.
Oh really? Okay, at least you're making some money back on those because the bundles are usually not too bad except. Oh, hang on.
Well, like the batteries were super expensive, right? Like these batteries, 750 watts, is $200.
It was $200.
Yeah, and now it's like whatever, 50, 100.
Yeah, that's. Yeah, but I've had my 750 watt power supplies on the market for like 2 months now, and people are offering like $50. They're not offering like anything for a 750 anyways.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's plug you 1, 2, 3, 4. So 3, 4. All right. Hold on, I don't like how this CPU cable is. All right. So this isn't the greatest. It never is with the cable management. I'm gonna take this. It's always hard when you have 8 cards in one server to deal with it. But I think we're ready to bring her down to the server room. And turn her on for the first time. And we'll move these, we'll space these out. So we do have a brace that will come across all the cards that kind of sits them into place so that they're not going to shift or move. I mean, they're in a server rack, they're not going to shift or move anyways, but when I'm taking it out and whatnot, I don't want them to move. So for maintenance purposes, okay, so this actually has to, it's hitting the fan, so I'm gonna have to zip tie it over here. This one and this one again. I just did that. OCD cable management. There we go. The CPU. This is this one here. Okay. All right. Get the things away from the fans. Otherwise, you hear a lot of rattling. 4. And the last one here. So tonight, Tony will be at full GPU capacity, which is how many gigahash are you gonna have at the end of this?
I'd say like close to 4.
4 gigahash.
Yeah.
Oh man. Wow. Yeah, this is fucking awesome.
It's okay, guys. If you guys watch this, the merge is being delayed.
Yeah. Merge delay. You heard it here first, guys.
Yeah.
It's delayed because he's only now getting his stuff online.
Yeah.
Okay, so what we're gonna do is I'm gonna follow Tony down to the server room with this setup, and I'm gonna probably, decommission the top view because this is all done, which is beautiful. It's not beautiful, but it's workable. And oh my gosh, yeah, we're gonna plug it in. This is the last server, so let's do this. Um, Holy shit! All right, let's bring it down. This is awesome. So I'm gonna take off of this one here. So you delete. Yes. All right, you're coming down. You are coming on down. I'll bring this too. So. All right, you're coming with us, Ryan. Here we go. Ugh. I gotta have my beer because that's crucial. Yeah, so soon he's gonna have 48 A2000s down there. It's pretty crazy, eh? 48. That's more cars than I have down there. It's nuts. Alright, so it's pretty good. Sound. McMahon Penny. All right, so I don't know if this is still connected. Yeah, it is. All right. I know that's probably really loud, but I'm going to turn off the AC for a bit. And now we're going to play the plug-in game. So let's tilt this down here. Alright, so we do the I/O, flip it around. That's the way it's going into the rack. We're gonna have to download that BIOS for sure. So it's plugged in, and then to number 1, which is right here. Plug you in. I don't know what you would do without this adapter. Without this adapter, you wouldn't have been able to get very far. All right, so the power. All right, I think there's a power cable behind you. And this is Wolfman. All of the power. Holy crap. So I need to take a look at my matrix of power, and this one's going to go on to Hangman. Oh, that's right, because Penny is not on. So it's going to go to 19A, I believe. All right. Here we go. So actually I'm going to take this mic off because it's going to be too loud for everybody back there. Actually, it's not that loud, but... Oh, well, Ryan, you're coming with me, bud. Alright. 13B, 19B, 19A. Okay. That's alright, Ryan, bud. We are just trying to plug this in to 19A. So there's something wrong with my matrix here that I'll have to look at later, but just for now, that should be good. Alright. So everything's plugged in. Double check all these are pressed down. Yep. Yeah, that's in. You can usually tell by the thickness that's showing, right? For the USB. So, alright, those are good. Alright, we're gonna boot her up. So, there is something wrong with my power matrix. But, we will figure it out after this. So, alright. Do the honors and turn her on. Yeah, should just be one click. Right. Yeah. You probably didn't. It's probably not connected to the motherboard properly.
Oh, but the motherboard's glowing though, right?
Yeah, but the power switch is not connected to the motherboard properly.
Oh.
Like, cause I'll turn it off. Yep. Still couldn't see it, so.
So the power isn't like the 7th and the 8th, or it should be two of them, right?
Yeah.
Maybe it's like the wrong way.
No.
Like this way?
It doesn't matter. It's non-polaric.
I think it's right.
Try it again.
There's no thing.
Yeah, that still shouldn't matter actually, but you're right. Oh, we're having some issues here. But Tony's going to talk you through it while I go get something else. He's going to keep you company. Alright, so there you go. You can talk to the folks while I go grab a battery.
Alright guys, what is the power matrix? Is that a soft switch control? So he has like basically an outline of all the circuits he has and like how much power would be drawn per circuit. So he's brought different circuits down from his house that are not used to here. So yeah. Why do you do mining, Ryan? Just curious. Like, what got you into mining, and why are you doing it? Are you like bullish on mining? Are you? So Ryan was asking about your power matrix. I said that it's basically a drawing of your circuits and that you bring down from your house, and
I
you
know.
calculate how much power goes into each circuit.
Yeah, each circuit is mapped out, so I know exactly what servers are on which. Yeah, it picks up pretty much what I think.
Okay.
So I know exactly which servers are on which circuits. So when I'm plugging in his servers, I have a matrix of which ones are available. So I have to make sure that they're going into the right ones. Otherwise, otherwise it's just not going to work. So
Is it a software or Excel spreadsheet or?
No, it's just an Excel spreadsheet. Yeah,
Excel sheet.
something I just whipped up because um, I needed to have it all figured out here. So probably.
So Ryan says that he does mining for fun. He uses the same hardware as games. He says ignored crypto for the last 10 years, convinced it would die. Now I'm convinced it won't. Yeah, I think it definitely is here to stay. Like from a use case perspective, like you definitely see it in the Russian-Ukraine war. It's being used. You see a lot of new businesses kind of use it as like gating type of commerce, like it's like a social token. Um, from exclusivity, you have a lot of cool end use purposes that I think once they develop the interface, like crypto definitely has a lot more end game use to it. And yeah, like mining and potentially has some room to continue playing in sort of new crypto blockchains is my thoughts on why I kind of expanded the way I did. Um,
Yeah, I think your end goal is really that it's not just Ethereum. Like Ethereum is good, but uh, like you have so much compute power that like you're not just gonna end it at Ethereum because it's just like you have so much power. Like it's four gigahash of compute power. So anyway, so we got this kind of booted. We did plug in all of the GPUs at once, which we shouldn't have because we know that's not going to work. But so we're going to take out a couple of GPUs while Tony keeps you enthralled with all of his discussions.
yeah, so Brian, you said you directed crypto to Ukraine for the first 2 months of the war. Oh, sorry, I must be like
you're blaring, like you're screaming into it. So see this?
yeah.
You want to keep that in the green. Basically, you're
talk as if normal.
Yes, just talk normally.
I'm like you're probably screaming into his ears.
Sorry for that, Ryan. Just not used to the mic.
Streaming life, that's what.
Yeah. But yeah, that's pretty cool that you directed your crypto to Ukraine.
Oh, nice! You did that.
Yeah.
I did that for about a week, and I was just really worried that it was going to, like, they had the website, they had the government website linked to it and everything, so that was good. But I was just worried that it was going to be like not real.
But even from the Russian side, though, like, you can see like blockchain potentially has room to play as a global kind of currency type thing. Because if different countries throw sanctions at you, like it works for both Ukraine and Russia. I think in a sense it's decentralized, right? So Ryan, right now what we're doing is we're just we're essentially plugging in the adapter so that we can see the BIOS and pretty much update the BIOS because that's required to run multiple cards.
Yeah, you mentioned that you hadn't used this motherboard before, right?
No.
Okay. So we are going to it's turning on. I have only one connected, except it's not outputting. So I'm going to change the output to the actual onboard. Let's see if that does anything. Onboard graphics pop up, please. Here we go. Let's do another reset.
So Ryan, you said that you follow crypto for the last 10 years. Like
10 years. Oh, jeez.
did you work in tech or like how did you become aware of crypto? So he said that he wants to get a portable 7-inch screen to easily plug in between servers, and something like some of the other YouTubers do have, but like I think this is a pretty convenient.
This is just like I have a
There's literally-
monitor. Yeah, I have a monitor right there, and it has all of the outputs connected to it.
Yeah.
And I could bring this cable as far as the back of the server case. So this literally will plug into anything, and it
Yeah.
goes to the monitor there. So that's better than a screen in my opinion, just because it's stationary.
Well, this is a screen, but it's larger.
Oh yeah, I
It's-
mean like a portable screen.
Yeah, portable is
Yeah.
pretty good. So he said he's a computer tech. Perfect. Yeah.
Nice, I love it.
Yeah.
So we are not getting anything on this.
Ryan, you ever gonna build a server case like this?
Check the RAM. Yeah, alright, we're just trying to figure out what's going on here, why it's not booting. Just gotta double check everything that we've done here. So, right now I'm looking for the RAM slot, because usually you're not supposed to plug it into the first slot if you only have one stick. If there's 4 slots.
Ryan said that he's in his server, and they just recently for Ferrari of Denver.
For Ferrari of Denver?
Yeah, what does that mean?
Like Ferrari, the car company?
Ryan, is it the Ferrari, the car company?
So I'm gonna ask you, are you sure you bought the right CPU for this thing?
Yeah. They said that, like I asked the person.
Okay.
So, and it's 10th generation compatible, so. Like, we could take it out per se and see if the CPU is fitting correctly. But I think it's like all correct. Let me check. So,
Yeah, okay, well I'm just not seeing any life on the boot. There's always a fucking issue. Okay, so we're having huge technical issues on this one. This one's not even posting. But I think he went out and bought a CPU and installed it today.
it's
I really don't want to have to take this apart, but could it be the CPU connector here that like takes so much to get in?
the opposite one.
Yeah, I'm gonna try the other one. Okay, we'll try that. Okay, let's do this. Okay, come on, let's see some activity on the screen, boys. Any activity. Anything at all. Not even a post.
Yeah, so it's compatible with 10th and 11th generation, so it's all.
So we're having an issue. This is the last server. There's one there that we built. We have another one that's going to go up on the very top. Yeah, it's all going to fit in there, but we're not being able to see this post. So we've reset the BIOS, reseated the RAM. The power is getting into the computer. but it's turning on and there's nothing posting. So what I'm gonna try to do, let's see here. I'm gonna remove.
Let me see what RAM. Like maybe I'll just double check the slot. Sorry. Sorry. What are you gonna do?
Yeah, the slot is not going to prevent it from posting.
Really? Okay.
Yes. All right, we are at. Whatever. I don't even know what to do here. Besides, like checking the CPU, taking the CPU out and checking that it's like seated properly. I don't know what else is there to check except for me dismantling the whole thing. Oh, this sucks. Maybe Ryan's got some good ideas. Alright, so we've got, it's all sitting here in conglomerate. No, you would think that these would come with the PC speakers for the codes, but the newer they are, the less they have those speakers.
So that's a A2 slot for that. Is that the right one? A2?
Yeah, it's usually in the second slot. It's typically, you have one stick. But again, that doesn't prevent posting. The CPU would prevent posting.
So from a motherboard perspective, this is the ATX1 and the ATX2.
Well, I mean, you can look up the user manual for it, right?
Yeah, this is.
So, which one's ATX1? Yeah, we had it in ATX1, and then it still didn't boot. So now we're in ATX2, and there's only one. Unless the CPU, alright. Unless the CPU is not plugged in the right one here. It's never easy. It's never ever easy. So, okay, so troubleshooting 101, you unplug everything and see what happens. So what we're probably gonna have to do, I mean, you could go home if you need. Like I'll definitely be able to figure this out at some point. To get it to post. Because I know you got a long driveway home. So this is the PSU. Yep, that's in. All the cables are properly in. Yeah, this is going to take me dismantling the whole thing. Other thing we can do is this the right CPU? Yeah, I think it is. Yep, alright, well. So, what we're gonna do here, I'm just gonna leave you like this. This is my shitty Wi-Fi camera. So, typically what I do in this scenario is I take everything apart and trace it one by one. So that's not needed. That's not needed. Oh wait, that's the CPU. Alright, so what a shame. I really don't want to check the CPU. Alright, we're going to check the CPU. No, there's nothing else to check.
I really hope I didn't put it in the wrong position.
Can you grab... That's pretty tight.
Can we get like napkins or?
No, it's I'm not worried about the physical CPU, I'm worried about the pins. Well, he did a nice job on the thermal paste. And there should only be one way to put this in. Anyways. Yep, there is only one way to put this in. Alright. So the CPU's good, but still no posto. So the next thing is we unplug everything from the power supply and test one thing at a time. Actually, you know what I would also probably prefer is if we got a second stick of RAM. So something.
Yeah.
So grab another stick of RAM.
Here, give me the mic.
Yeah. Nice. Alright, so we're gonna go test a different stick of RAM. I'm gonna start removing stuff. I mean, everything is pretty much removed except for some of the GPU powers. So I'm gonna start taking those out. Unfortunately, I didn't see the most of this build happen. So I'm going to plug a graphics card directly into nice. Alright, we got some different RAM. I'm going to can you grab me the scissors over there?
Sorry?
Grab me the scissors from in the top drawer there. I'm going to plug so I'm going to plug you. Plug it directly into the PCI slot and see if that works. If it does, then we can update the BIOS from there. And we've taken out all of that. And this is the CPU. Yes. No, this isn't the CPU. This is the CPU. Alright, here, help talk to Brian, or Ryan.
Ryan?
Ryan.
Says he loves a mystery like this.
Yeah, well, he should be here then. Alright, so we plugged in the. Okay, that's plugged in there. Don't really need this plugged in because that's not preventing it from posting. But I'm gonna take this out. And we're gonna plug just this in here. Alright, so now the only things we have plugged into the PlayStation, CPU, 24 pin, SATA, and that's actually it. That's all we have plugged in there. So none of the fans should go on. And we're going to plug this into the card. And plug it into here. There we go. So it's a direct connect into the GPU. HDMI is going, that's good. Alright, so let's hope that this glass. Come on. Alright.
What's going on?
I'm trying to take this CMOS battery out. Oh, jeez Louise. Right, there we go. And another stick of RAM. Hold on. New stick of RAM. When in doubt, swap out the RAM. Let's hit A2. Satisfying click. Power on. Power on. I don't know why these are on.
It's connected to computer, right? The
No.
motherboard.
Oh yeah, these are connected to the motherboard. Okay. So they're just the power cycle, which is good, and you still see nothing.
No clue.
Oh baby! Woo! There we go. Oh, you can't see anything. Let's go!
Nice.
My troubleshooting 101 always works. When in doubt, strip it out. Alright, so we need to go into BIOS. So awesome. Awesome. So you keep, let me see, what is his name? It's Ryan. Yes, Ryan is while I do this stuff. Sweet. Alrighty, we are in. We're in. Oops.
Ryan, how much mining are you doing? Are you mining purely ETH or?
I have to get download the update for BIOS. So that's what it is.
Oh, 660 mega hash ETH. What's the primary cards you're using? Now this is all attributable to Derek. So Derek has a nice setup. My setup is just open air rigs and mining in the condo. It's not the greatest.
Well, it's not mining in the condo anymore.
Yeah,
It's mining in my basement.
mining in the basement.
So right now we're looking for, what is this? It's a Z minus steel.
Do you want to sit? Just sit.
Nice. So, yeah, I'm just
So, yeah.
working on downloading the BIOS. I'm gonna have to get a USB stick. Oh, we're gonna make Ryan sick.
So Ryan said that he has an RX 6600, 2070, 3060, 1060, 1070, 2x6060. Okay, so they're all quite efficient cards. Yeah.
I'm sure he loves the door look.
Alright, I'm gonna give you something to see.
Right, so I gotta go upstairs and grab the USB. Sorry, this is such a makeshift stream, Ryan. Sorry, bud. We're just like bumping into each other here. Yeah, I gotta go upstairs. So make sure the screen's going.
Are you thinking of expanding, Brian, or are you thinking of just like waiting until like the ETH kind of works its way out? Oh, you're thinking of expanding.
Get those GPUs at low prices.
Yeah. Are you targeting any specific cards, or like what prices of electricity are you at right now? You know what's actually pretty cool? Like those like mini ASICs from Jazz Miner, like the iPolo and stuff like that. Like those ones, even though they're like limited to like whatever 5 or 6 gigs, like just the fact that those chips exist is kind of like a little crazy. Yeah, like if the electricity is really expensive, why don't you like last power bill was well, that's not good, man. If your power bill was $400 and you only made $300, then I don't think you should be expanding.
His power bill is what?
400, and he made $300.
Oh, so he's in the hole $100 a month. But that's if he believes in crypto that much, then like you're. Yeah, but where does he live? If he's not in the Newfoundland, right? He's not the Newfoundland guy.
Where are you from, Ryan?
Because that's a high. What is that per kilowatt hour? Like,
Yeah.
What is that?
I don't know,
That's
but
got to be up there. There's also like, because European countries are really like you can't really mine in Europe anymore because the cost of electricity is so high. It's just like insane.
but he says he's from Denver, Colorado, and he's got his rigs on timers so that during peak hours it shuts off.
Oh my goodness!
He's
And
really,
and he's still in the hole $100 a month. Even with that, he's still in the hole $100 a month. Wow. Yeah. You know what? Do me a favor. Send your stuff to my house. Send your stuff to my house. I've got 3 spaces here ready to roll whenever.
yes, here, there, that could be yours, Ryan. This one right here. This could be yours.
This could be all yours. At 15 cents a kilowatt hour is what I'm charging now. But I might have to increase that if I have too many people interested in my hosting services.
Yeah.
But so yeah, we're just updating the BIOS now, which is excellent. Once the BIOS is updated, we're going to add it back. Try to plug it into a riser, but we're gonna modify the BIOS first because we have to make sure that there's, that all that other crap going on.
So yeah, updating the BIOS right now.
So
Ryan gave a smiley face. So Ryan, are you committing here?
he's committing. We
Yeah,
got it on
smiley.
video.
Yeah.
That's your spot, man. Here, I'll even turn the light on for you.
Look, see, we got names of different pilots: Jester, Cougar, Maverick, Viper. This could be Ryan. Oh man.
I gotta get me some 240 volt. That's what I need.
Well, you gotta expand it even more. Like, you know the system.
Yeah.
If you get like a warehouse or whatever, I don't know.
Just roll it into a warehouse. Well, I wouldn't even. So in all reality, I could. Nice. That's a good picture. So in all reality, I'm drinking apple juice, by the way. Um, if let's say in a perfect world, the way I have this design, I could literally add another rack just over there and basically have 3 full racks of just GPUs and shit, which is crazy. But this room that I built is like designed to hold like hundreds and hundreds of GPUs, and it already is holding over. It's 48 of yours and 22 of mine, plus 200 terabytes of Chia storage. Actually, I have a new server that you guys are going to be able to see real soon.
Right, we're booting into Hive.
We're booting
Wow.
into Hive. All right, so that's good. Good stuff. We're going to let that boot, shut it down, go back into the BIOS, and start messing around with the settings. That's really positive. I'm glad we updated it. All right. Yeah. So I'll just keep doing it. You're doing a great job in showing him the stuff. You're doing awesome.
Yo, it's not about the power you need. I think what you need is cheaper power.
Oh, Ryan's?
No, Ryan's, yeah.
Yeah.
He said he needs to upgrade to a 240 volt, and he wants to get to 1 gigahash.
Man, if you're losing $100 on how much megahash you have?
He had 660.
Yeah. What's the kilowatt per hour? Like that's basically what you need to ask yourself. Is like
Yeah.
the kilowatt per hour seems like that is not a good deal for anybody.
You know what you could consider, Ryan, is you could consider doing those nodes. I wonder if they charge fees. That's what I'm considering if I ever get up to 32. I think I'm actually taking a pause on crypto stuff. I'm looking at like bone broth and like kale chips. I'm looking at other stuff,
What do you mean? You're looking at like what?
like other types of businesses.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I need to diversify a little here because crypto's like, I don't know how long this winter is.
It's a scary winter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But so do I just YOLO and plug? No, I don't YOLO. No, you don't YOLO. You just have one. I don't YOLO. It's a waste of time. I have a method to my madness. Shut up. Here's the book. The method. Just stick to the method. Works every time. Alright, so now we're going to boot into alright, let's hope this works on the riser. We were booted into Hive. I have a feeling that it's going to the internal graphics on this, but so far when I plug it into that riser it does not like it. So alright, doesn't seem to like that. That riser could be faulty as well. I mean we've been really lucky with the risers that we've had so far,
So he says that you're getting a smart meter in the next month. My solar will help me bring back into the green, hopefully.
how much? Yeah, that stuff is expensive.
Solar?
The smart
Meters?
Smart meters, those are like really expensive. There we go. Nice.
What's the point of a smart meter?
It's what passes it back to the grid, I think.
Like bi-directional. Like that's...
Yeah. I mean, yeah, the smart meter passes it back to the grid, right? I think is what you're getting. That's a lot. I gotta change out this one.
As far as I know, like solar's not very profitable either unless you have subsidies. Ryan said exactly.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, solar panels are really fucking expensive. But if you already have them, that's good. Okay, so this thing is causing a lot of issues, unfortunately. Basically, what I'm doing right now is trying to get it back into the BIOS so I can change the primary graphics to the onboard. And I'm also going to replace that riser because I think there's something wrong with that riser card. So we'll try that.
Do you want me to go grab the visor?
No. I'm just going to swap it in one minute. Okay, so that works fine. Alright.
What got you into mining?
Oh man, that's a good question. It's kind of a shame story that I have to tell, but it's a true one. So basically, when I was in 2020, just before the boom, I was moving to this house, and that's when like everybody started mining. And my buddy asked me, he's like, have you ever mined? And I was like, no, it's unprofitable because at the time there was no 3000 series cards. Well, those were just coming out. The 3000 series cards just came out. The best card on the market before was 2080 Ti, and that was like $4,000. And it was like just
$4,000
when it came out. Yeah.
Wow, holy shit.
So it was just not profitable to mine, and you couldn't Bitcoin mine. So that's what I thought he was talking about, was Bitcoin mining. And so I kind of convinced him to not buy these like 10, 30, 60s at like MSRP, just because I was like, no, it's stupid, blah, 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 like it's done, it's oversaturated, you're not going to get, yeah. Anyways, he decided not to go into it. When I moved here, I decided to go into it. And so he curses me every day for that. So whenever like the market goes down, I always remind him, like, I'm like, hey, see, look, you could be in shambles like me. You could be regretting life like me. But yeah, so that's how I got into it. And this server rack, basically, I was just like, all right, like this is what it's all about. So, all right, so we put it in, and we're going to shut it down. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna connect the second card. Just to see if that works. And
So Ryan, you said that you talked so many people out of crypto over the last decade, telling them it was going to die. Honestly, I met someone in 2005, and I told them it wasn't going to go anywhere as well.
But that was in 2005, though.
Yeah, it was like really, really early. Oh wait, sorry.
2005 is
2015. Not 2010. 2015.
Well, I mean, it did crash in 2018. Or was it?
But it was really early 2015, though, right? So.
Yeah, I would have. I don't know. Nobody knows. It's not a crystal ball. It still could fail. But
we're considered like early adopters, I think. I would say we're still early adopters, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like Web3,
yeah.
like in like 10 years when Web3 is like regular, we're gonna be definitely early adopters. We're gonna like basically when the internet came out. All right, so we've got 2 cards. No, we've got 1. All right, well here I'm just give this because he's not looking at anything.
Okay, sir.
Terrible cameraman. Linus never said that. Linus hates mining so much. Linus never said, do you like free money?
So we only have one drawing?
You only have one card?
No, I have two. That's funny. One thing that Linus does is he hates mining, except every time he goes to one of his employees' houses and his own house, he's mining. So you know what? Oh, I think I know what it is. Okay, alright, I think I know what this is. So, this is one. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to plug back in some of the power cables. I'm slowly losing my mind in terms of cable mess. I have a massive OCD when it comes to cable management, and these types of things get me so upset internally because I can't see everything that's going on. So I just found two. This is the CPU one, which stays over there. You know what we're going to do? I'm going to cut these fans out because they're pissing me off. Alright, let's get some freedom in here. Some freedom. I need to see and move around the case, roam around the cabin. Okay, let's get this out of here.
Yeah, you can say I'm losing my mind because I am.
Okay, so yeah, this cable mess, this is how I have to redo everything. I can't stand it. It's just too chaotic for me. Especially when you're troubleshooting. Okay, so one here, two here, they're plugged into. They are plugged into this one. Okay, so 1 and 2 are plugged into this one. Can you hold that? Let's go all the time. Okay, that's 5 and 6. 1 and 2, and this one here is 3 and 4. Alright, so 1, 2 goes on the very bottom. My phone. Right here. Alright, let's do this. One, two, goes into here. Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. 1, 2 is plugged in. So these front two are plugged in, and then this is 3 and 4 right here. This guy. 3 and 4. Oh god, I hate. Getting my hand in here is like fucking insane. Shit. Jesus. Okay, 3 and 4 are plugged in. Congratulations, Derek. And this one here is 5 and 6. Is it in here? No. Who's already talking now? Alright, we are almost there. Okay, the GPUs are getting plugged in, but we're not going to turn them all on yet. We're just going to have the power set on them. We're missing this one now. This is the last one. Oh my gosh, this is just like, I hate cables. Alright, that's the only issue working in server cases I find is like, to get the cable management is like a pain in the ass. But once you have it, then it's good. Like those have been running for years. Literally years. Once you have it set, it just runs non-stop. So it's getting it set, which is the pain in the ass. Alright, so we're gonna plug in 1 and 2 on the risers. Alright, here we go. Let's go, boys. Alright, Ryan, watch this, bud. I'm gonna show you something.
We need to plug in this one over there.
Yeah, we will. So 1 and 2. There we go. Just need to get that out of the way. Alright. Alright, you keep running company while I fix this nonsense. Okay. Holy tits. Okay. I think. Whoops. Sorry, bud. So I should be able to plug into the onboard because I changed that setting, and then these two cards should show up. So let's try that. Let's go. Alright. This is the troubleshooting shit that I hate. This thing seems to not like the risers. But it might be because they're not plugged into the primary slot. Alright. Let's try that. Let's try
the.
Hmm?
Do you want me to get the screwdriver to get the first slot?
There's like orange one in there. Oh. Gotta be organized, Tony. Gotta be organized. Otherwise, you take hours trying to find shit. Alright, so this is number 1. I'm just asking for GP1 to register. If this doesn't register, then we're going to. Then we're going to change the riser card, or I'll just swap it out with a different GPU. Nope. Wow, fun times, AB. This is terrible. This is terrible. So, we're unable to host when there's a riser card plugged in for some reason. Oh, he was being sarcastic. Yeah. Oh, the nice hash one. Yeah, he was sponsored for them to do that, which was ridiculous. I couldn't believe he actually agreed to do that sponsorship. They must have paid him so much money to do that because it went against everything that he stood for. And he was definitely being sarcastic through the whole thing, but they paid him to do it. So I do remember that, and I was like, what the heck is going on?
Yeah. So what we're going to try to do. All right. So yeah, I remember that. You're right. But you're right. It was the whole thing was sarcastic, except it was sponsored. So I mean, how like really weird. All right. So we're going to just swap the cards. Actually, you know what? That may have been booting. I'm just gonna swap this one, and we're gonna go back to stupid. This here. Plug you into two. All right, man. This is. Oops. All right. Yeah, that was a good. I still didn't get that. Why he did that video. They must have paid him so much money to say that stuff. Like hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like it's crazy. All right, so we're booted into BIOS. We're booted here. Now I'm going to add that first card again. Yeah, they must. I mean, I can't even imagine how much money they must have asked got him. All right, so here's hoping. We just replaced the riser with another card. We're booting into Hive right now, and I'm hoping it's going to show two cards, which would be great. That means we're progressing, and that means I need to keep drinking my beer because that's when I do my best troubleshooting. This light is killing the scene here. There we go. Yeah. There we go. Nice. Alright, so let's see if we see two cards in Hive. We do!
Nice.
I told you, Brian. Told you, Ryan. Alcohol makes everything work. It's just science. Alright, so now we're going to go with... What are we going to do? Let me think here, systematically. We need to use one of these splitters, and I don't like using these that much, but we're going to use it on the third riser here. So, systematically... Alright, here we go. Let's use this stupid expansion card. Okay, why are you not like that? Okay. Now we get the third card. 1, 2, 3. See, this is why I have to do it in like preceding orders, because it's just like trying to troubleshoot this without having any method is like impossible. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so we're going to try this with 4 cards now. And hopefully we see the 4. And then we're almost done. Holy crap, man. This troubleshooting stuff is just so painful. Alright, it's booting up. I'm going to go grab a beer while it boots up. And Tony's going to talk to you again. Oh.
How many booting up? I haven't seen anything yet.
Cool. Alright, we are booting into Hive.
It always does that, by the way.
Huh?
It always does the on-off.
Nice. 4.
4 cards. All right. All right, I'm on a roll here. So I'm gonna ask Tony if he thinks I'm a good admin.
Yeah, this is excellent.
So the last time Tony was here, he was giving me. We tried to do all of the cards at once. We tried to do 3 servers at once, actually, in one day. And it was like I was trying to teach him some stuff and kind of like go through it really fast, and it was just not. It was not working. Like we were not able to get anything working. And we left here at like 12 o'clock at night with no servers running. So I stayed up. I dismantled everything completely and built it from scratch. Everything. I built the entire thing back from scratch and got it working. And I sent him a message at 3:30 in the morning.
4.
It was like 4 in the morning, and was like, "Okay, you have your one thing set up. I think I figured out what's going on here."
I think you had 2 of them set up, and then you said that.
The next day I had the next morning I had stuff set up, and then I had to go to hockey for the third one, and then the third one was up. But they're there. They're beautiful. These are his first original 3 servers. There's 24 A2000s in them. Well, actually, that one's new. We built that one today. This one today. And we also built that one today. And we are booting up right now with 6 cards, hopefully, and then we'll go 7, 8. And then I can have Tony can sleep well tonight, knowing that he's got all of his cards up and going. Yeah. So what does it say here? All right. So how many? So okay. You know what's funny about the PCI splitters? I'm gonna get out of the stupid light here. The thing about the PCI splitters is typically if you don't have enough lanes, it doesn't necessarily work all the time. I'm gonna go turn that light off now.
Yeah, all 6 fine.
Is there a method to my madness or what, T-Bone?
100%. I see it now.
Yeah. Before, Tony used to just throw shit at the wall, and I was like, "No, stop everything. I can't." You're like, "You just want to switch the things?" I was like, "No, no."
You can see how pissed off he was when I was like, let's just move it to different
I was like, "Oh my god!" I was like, "Do you understand? That's going nowhere." I was like, "No, stop touching everything. We're done." I was like, "Okay, we have to do this in order, otherwise it's never gonna get solved."
You should see his face, and I'm like, let's just move it further down.
Let's just try this. However, on that one, if you had told me that you knew that the third PCI slot was not working,
Well,
that would have saved some time.
You have a method to this madness, right?
I do, but if you had told me that one, you knew that one wasn't working, that would have saved some time for sure. That was pretty funny. So we got in, and for some reason only 7 cards were showing, and then like we start troubleshooting, and I start taking ones off, and then later on he goes, "Oh yeah, I remember trying this before, and that one slot doesn't work." And I was like, when did you remember that?
That's what you said.
I was like, when did you remember that? Because we've been working on this as if like we're doing something wrong here. Anyways, yeah. I feel like I know Tony. I feel like
BIOS. Or...
Oh, you know what? I never tried it after the BIOS, but it wasn't working. It just wasn't working. So I assume it was the slot for sure. Because man, okay, we're gonna once the 8 are showing up, I'm going to rejig this here because this is all fuckery. I hate cables going in and out, but we'll get the 8 showing up, and then I can clean this with my OCD. So we're using 1 splitter on this computer. We actually used 2 splitters on another computer.
Yeah, the motherboard only had 4 slots, right? 4 slots would only allow you up to 7 if you had the...
Yeah, that's crazy. I can't believe 2 splitters actually work, to be honest. Because that doesn't usually your motherboard has a limit of PCI lanes, but I mean these are newer motherboards, so that's probably why it worked.
So Brian, just a quick lesson. Like, don't buy the USB expansion slots. You gotta buy PCIe expansion slots, okay? When you expand your part.
Oh my gosh!
There are USB expansion
No,
slots
no,
there.
you gotta hold it in front of your face and tell them the story.
All right.
You have to tell them the whole story about what you learned that day. A very important story.
Well, it's just a tip, right? So you don't need to buy things that don't work for what it works, but not for this purpose. Essentially, I was looking to expand because, like, A2000s
Did you
require.
plug the cards into the back of the USB?
Yeah,
Fuck me.
yeah. I thought I put
Did
on
you burn anything out?
No.
Wow, you're lucky.
Yeah.
You're lucky. Yeah.
No.
That would short circuit the board, I would think. Because
I put
it's drawing the power from. It's asking for the power from that thing.
Oh shit! Wow.
Yeah.
Because I put it on on the optimizers. I thought because the optimizers had like what 3600 watts of power, I could just expand each of the X12s and make it like 100, right? And then I could just put the A2000s on top of the server of the octominers. But one, the octominers cannot expand even if you have those expansion slots. And
Oh, really?
At least I couldn't work it. And
Interesting.
two, just don't buy USB expansion slots for PCI lanes. Yeah. They look the same.
I want to tell you, I'm sorry that was an amateur. That was definitely an amateur mistake on your part, but that's
Yeah.
okay. You were learning.
Yeah, there's so many like mini lessons.
Yeah, you were learning, man. Okay, so we got the 8 showing up, which is excellent, and now I'm going to rearrange these, unfortunately, outside of my method, based on length here. So
Yeah.
now that I know all 8, actually this is not good. This is okay, don't do this. Do not divert from what works. So typically, in this scenario, typically the admin and me, and what I've always done is PCI slot 1 goes to card 1, 2 goes to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For some reason, because this card over here is really taut, it's not able to actually hit the 8th spot, which is all the way over here. So I'm having to go against everything that I stand for by basically throwing caution to the wind. If I ever have any troubleshooting issues with specific GPUs, I am not going to know which one it is at all, because they're all randomized here. I can follow it, but it's harder when there's the plate here. So this is done. We are going to actually put in the mid plate, which is just it's a bunch of these fans here. It's half-assed done. We didn't get the right fans like I told you earlier, but we're gonna put it in, and this put a bar across here to solidify these, and we're done. Like, that's it. That. So Tony built this computer, and I said if it didn't work, it was on him.
And you definitely troubleshooted it. It didn't work, and you troubleshooted it.
I had to spend the rest of the night trying to fix it, but it's okay, man. I was proud that he put the whole thing together. So you got to start somewhere, man. And he's come a long way since the first time he came here. The first time he came here as well. You want to hear a funny story? I didn't tell Tony this yet, but I'm gonna tell you guys and Tony right now. So after he had left, and I basically had to redo all of the servers, as I was taking out, I was literally taking out the motherboards and stuff. When I was taking out the motherboards, you had used the incorrect motherboard screws, and they were jammed in there, you had wedged it in there because it was the wrong thread. You were just just shove this in there. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm never gonna be able to take this out because it's been wedged with the wrong screws. And then that's why when you came here today, I was like,
I have bags for different types of things, and there's power supply screws, there's motherboard screws, there's fan screws, and they're all different. That's why I have them all separated in different like bags. So, anyways, I showed you like today when you were like trying to screw in this or something like that, and I was like, no, you have to use this screw. That's the only way to do it. But anyways, you're learning fast on your feet here. You know, it took me 20 years to learn this shit. So yeah.
Ryan said his buddy melted his system on the first try.
Oh my God! How could he possibly have done that?
Well, you could move it in the opposite direction. Like if you actually power it on, like it smokes immediately.
Really? Do you know this by experience?
By experience, yeah. I broke my motherboard.
Oh,
So I have a motherboard
my God.
that essentially is blacked out. So like this, if it's opposite, it smokes. Like when you turn it on, it smokes immediately. Like it turns black and it like starts powering down.
I'm gonna go get some zip ties. You need to say that to the camera and tell him what motherboard it was, because knowing you got the best of the best motherboard.
Yeah, yeah, that wasn't.
All right. So did you tell him the story? I feel bad for you, but
Yeah, I told him the story.
lesson learned, man. That's an expensive lesson to learn, unfortunately.
Yeah, like the actual like the riser, it's no longer can be used. So.
Oh, the motherboard didn't die though.
The mother that slot died.
Oh, the slot died. Okay. Was that the one that we were just using?
No.
I was gonna be like, when did you remember that?
That's not that. No. I have it like thrown out somewhere. Like it's in the like storage area.
Oh my God.
It kind of smells like it never goes away. That smell.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So.
No, it's it's gross. The metal, yeah, it's the electrical burn smell. It's terrible. All right, so we are done. Let's get this SATA slip through here. All right, that is awesome. So I feel a little bit more comfortable with this cable management now. Not because I did it, just because I can see. But I do have OCD for some reason about the cables, because it makes troubleshooting impossible if they're in your way. Alright, so now we just got two to put these fans in, and we're going to be replacing, so when I get the new fan splitter, we're going to be replacing these with the high flow fans, and that's going to be awesome. I'm really excited to actually see those fans at work, because that is like 3,000 RPM is amazing.
The Arctic ones are 3,000 RPM.
Are they?
Yeah, that's why I got these ones.
Oh, I thought
the Arctic ones are a good price.
Oh, these ones were cheaper then.
No, they're about the same.
Oh, okay.
So they get delivered the next day. So these ones are like 10 bucks per. Before you could buy, I guess, 5 for the $35 for the Arctic, right?
Yeah. Those Arctic ones are really, really good. I'm glad I got those. Okay, so we're just gonna actually daisy chain this here. All right. What's she saying? Anything good?
He said his buddy melted the 24-pin connector power supply and destroyed the motherboard.
Yeah, but how? How do you melt the 24 pin? It's like only goes in one way.
He didn't measure from the wall. I took the time to solder a new 24-pin power connector to repair the power supply.
What? You soldered a new connector? Holy shit!
I think Ryan knows a lot.
Yeah.
He's not
You're-
letting on what he knows.
Yeah, you're not telling us everything here, man. We must look like a bunch of chumps trying to troubleshoot this nonsense in front of you. You probably knew it right away what the issue was. Yes, I am. Okay, so that was hitting the fans. Alright, there we go. This is here. That's crazy.
He said it took hours.
But I mean, it wouldn't the circuit just blow? Like, wouldn't, instead of like the motherboard exploding, wouldn't the power circuit just like pop? Because when I overdo the power, it just, like, my circuit blows. So I would assume that that's what would have happened to him. He's like, what? What do you say?
He just said it took hours. That's
Oh, okay. Yeah, because I would assume that your power would just like your circuit should just trip. Can't believe you
He
have
says,
to do this whole thing.
I think because the high draw the dual CPUs.
I had to rebuild this down here. I don't even know what it was. I don't even know what the issue was. Like the original issue. Like, I had to literally take everything out. I still don't know the root cause of the actual issue because we had to take everything out. This is just awful.
These computers are like strange beasts.
All right. These computers are amazing, is what you meant to say. Server cases are amazing.
Yep.
There we go. All right. So the last thing we do, you can show him. You can show him the pan over here. The last thing, I mean, don't look at this. Don't look at this at all. The last thing we're gonna do is we put a brace bar across all the cards evenly, and so that they don't move anywhere. So, granted, it's not going to really be moving once it's in the rack, but I am OCD like that, and I just want to make sure that everything is securely fastened for my clients. So, you know, I gotta make sure that they're always protected, and I like that. So we'll just get some double-sided tape, which is
Yeah, it's like
all right. Oh, Ryan's gonna get sick. Ryan's gonna get sick. Ugh. All right.
He said he didn't bother to lower their frequency, so he's talking about why they do.
Oh, that's
To
why.
not use a dual CPU motherboard. So I told him not to use a dual CPU server motherboard, or to at least remove one CPU. And Ryan says that's nice. I have OCD too.
Yeah, I think as server admins, or whatever it is we are, you have to in order to have a large farm like this. Because if you don't, if everything isn't labeled and properly just identified, you lose a lot of time trying to figure things out. Which is why my power matrix has allowed me to really harness
Oh, there we go. They're all stuck together except for this one. That's not sticking. Yeah, it really allows you to optimize everything and make sure that you know exactly where everything's going. Like I'm eking out every ounce of power and resource out of these things. So, well, we're almost done. So basically, what we got to do now is we got to connect Ethernet. We're gonna get it booted into Hive, change a few things, and then toss it in the rack and toss on Penny too. So if you want to stick around, you can stick around then, but it's probably gonna be pretty boring at this point. We just got to do a couple more zip ties, and then that's all she wrote for this one. But I will do a video montage of this once it's completed, because it's gonna look awesome with all of these GPUs on. So total number of GPUs I will have is, you have 48, so, and I have 21. So yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm not gonna be able to get that through, am I? No.
You want me to get the big zip ties? The like, long white ones? Or?
No, those won't fit through here. They won't fit through the fan. There we go. All right. Yeah. So 70 70 GPUs in one place. Now the A2000s are really like low maintenance, low power. All of my GPUs are 3080s and above, or 3070s and above. So I've got 10 3080s, 12 3070s, and then one 2060, which is my gaming computer. So it's not really, it's mining, but it's not taking up very much power. All right, so this one doesn't have a lid, which is fine. So we're going to be putting this on top and then putting on top of them. So, I'll carry Brian with me. I don't know why I keep calling him Brian. All right, so we need to get the Ethernet and then the power. So I think I already have. I need to verify my. All right, we're just taking a look. Yo, what's good, MC? You're missing out on all the good troubleshooting fun. We just finished the last server. Whoop. So the last server, this one here, we just finished it. All 8 cards are showing. That's a rat's nest. It's all going to be redone at some point because we're getting new fans here. But we're just about to connect it to the internet and then toss it in top of here. And then we have another one that we're tossing on top of here. And then we're good. So we got a few more things to do with this one, but yeah, we're doing good. Oh, no problem, man. Yeah, it hasn't really been that exciting of a stream. We've just been talking. Tony's been telling us some crazy stories. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just taking a look at my power matrix, because I have all of the power back there labeled out. So I just need to make sure that I'm plugging this one in the right socket here. So, alrighty. So we got a lot of power back there. Here, I'll even show you guys just a sec. Alright, look at this power back here. I don't know if you can see it. I can't see, but so yeah, we got a lot of power. And they're all alright, so let's just make sure here. Alright, we've got
Penny. Okay, so Penny's not on here yet. So 19A. Alrighty. So we've got Rooster and Hangman and Iceman. So Rooster is on. Rooster and Hangman are on 9A. Alrighty, so 9A, Rooster and Hangman, sweet. Then next is Iceman and so Iceman is on, let's just take a look, 19B. Iceman is on 19B, sweet. Oh my gosh, what? I can't read my own writing right now. What is this guy going to? Slider. Okay, Slider. I gotta write that better. I can't even read my own handwriting. Slider. All right. We've got too many. We have too many servers now. I have no idea what all of the names are. So we just built 3 new ones today, and I'm trying to remember the names of them. Slider. All right, so Slider is here. Slider is going into 19A. Sweet. So that's 660. All right, guys. Sorry, I know this looks. You're not really understanding what I'm looking at here. I'm just looking at the power matrix to make sure that everything is okay when I plug it in. So that means we've got one extra one here, which we're going to name him Slider and Penny. Where is Penny? I don't think I have Penny on anything. This way. Alright. So we're going to put Slider and Penny together. Sweet. So Penny's going on 19A. Alright. I'm going to turn this around so you guys can actually see something worthwhile. Alright, so Penny is on 19A. I'm going to take this off because you guys are probably hearing it tingle on my chain. There we go. Sorry, guys. Okay. Alright, so now we've got Penny. So I need to write down Penny's power adapter. And then plug her in. Sweet. We are almost done, boys. This is awesome. Alright, so let's get a power cable for Penny. Right. So by the way, all of my servers are named after Top Gun characters. So Penny is in the new movie, and she is a very small but cool computer. It's the first one we made, so she's going on top
No sexual innuendo intended, just that's just what's gonna happen. Alright, so penny, and I need to label the other side of penny too. So I know what the where did I put my tape? I'm losing my mind, boys. I'm losing my mind. Where did I put my tape? I was just fucking using it. Alright. I think somebody heard me say the penny joke and now they've stolen my green tape. Alright. Looks like I've lost it. Oh man, I'm going nuts. Oh. Did anybody see where I put my green tape? This is ridiculous. I need to label this. What just happened? Okay, well, Penny's not getting labeled then. We're gonna have to use duct tape. I literally just had the tape. There it is. Found it. Everybody can relax. I found the tape. Penny gets the full treatment. Alright. So, tech note, when you have a bunch of servers like this, you've got to label every single thing. You got to label the server, you got to label the front of the power, you got to label the back of the power, just because it's so chaotic when you have this many servers that everything has to be labeled everywhere. So that's why I label everything before I plug them in. It's just crazy. So Penny and so I need to also get yourselves a label maker. It helps, although I think I'm running out of labels. So I need to just do a penny label. Penny, you are sexy. Alright. Print. Now we're getting the penny label so that I can label it on the power bar. Because you also have to know what servers are on what circuit. Each one of my power bars has its own circuit. So I know exactly what's going to that. And I have the whole house mapped out so I know exactly what's on every circuit. So I'm able to do all of this without upgrading any power. So penny and slider. Alright. So penny and slider. And now holy shit. Wow. Did you just hear that? What the fuck was that, man? Dude, that fucking shook like the house. I thought something fell upstairs. That scared the shit out of me.
Pretty strong. Like you felt
The bang.
vibration.
That must have hit something like close to us. Man, that was like the loudest I've ever I seriously didn't know. I thought something like blew up. I was like, what the heck? Wow. Okay, that was really distracting. Okay, so the last thing, now we're gonna put Wolfman. So Wolfman is the new server that we just built. You put the label Wolfman on the server so you know which one he is. And then you will label the power cables. Can you go get me any power cable that you have? I don't have any more cables today. And can you leave any that you have? Because I've used them all up on your stuff. Alright, so Wolfman, there we go. Wolfman's gonna go up here, and now we just need to do one network cable to Wolfman, and that should be it. So, pick him up. Yes, he doesn't have a, so Wolfman doesn't have a lid. We're just gonna have to deal with that. Ugh. But that's okay, he's gonna be covered by Penny. So, well, I'm gonna have to run these cables before I put in Penny because it's gonna be tight. So, you can see here, he's got the 6 servers. So this one, there's one more that's gonna go right here. And then I turn on the dual exhaust, which has 2 8-inch AC Infinity fans up here. And each one of them kind of goes at the top of the server racks. So, so you can see they're both sucking out out the window, and that's what keeps it really, really cool in here. And I have an air conditioning unit that's not even on right now, but it keeps it like 21 degrees here, so it's awesome.
15, 1.4.
That doesn't even need to be that much because these are only drawing 600, $60. How many do you have?
I only have one more.
Okay, can you leave it here? Because again, like I have no more myself.
So we use the Rochester connection server. It's the same process.
Yeah, it's not a.
Okay, so this one is Wolfman. This is. Alright, we'll just do this. Wolfman. So grab okay. I have to run all these cables before I put in Penny so you can get back there.
We're gonna run off the
Well, the
Oh,
network
okay.
and the power cables I have to run them because I can't. Once it's in there, I can't get it back in. Sliding. I'm sorry, guys. Yes, slider and Penny on 19A. Slider and Penny. Then, the last one we need is Wolfman, which is the new one. So, let's label Wolfman. Sweet. All right. That was a lot of labeling, but gotta label, boys. Gotta label. Wolf, wolf. All right, here we go. Wolfman, here you go. Welcome to the Top Gun farm.
Here we are. Sweet. So Wolfman's gonna go. All right, so 19B. 19B is where Wolfman's gonna go. All right, so Wolfman on 19B, and there we go. All right, so 19B is where this next one's gonna go, and that pretty much will saturate all of my shit. Let's see here, 30, yeah. All right, that's it. 19B, boys. That's the last of them.
So, flip through here. Power unit 19A. 19B. Iceman. Wolf. Right, Ice and Wolf should be on there.
All right, we are done. On 19B, Iceman and Wolfman. Okay, save. Holy shit!
We're ready. Let's do this. We actually have to run 2 more Ethernet cables. Okay, so that's kind of a pain here. And we definitely don't have any more Ethernet cables. We have to buy new cables for them.
This guy even has like a military type, color.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Crazy.
Alright, so I need to really wear that now. So I can reach these. So we're gonna need to do 217. So we've got a shorter one will go.
Do you want me to leave the EVJ power cables as well, just in case you need them? Or? Okay.
I
I
mean,
have both the rod strip and just a bunch of power cables. Like I don't know if we need to put them when you get the fans up, right?
oh yeah, just in case. Yeah, for like the SATA stuff, maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just leave them here.
I mean, if you're not going to be building anything with them, then
No, I'm not gonna be doing.
yeah, then you may as well leave them here. I'll definitely. I don't want to have to go buy extra shit.
Yeah.
All right, so we're just doing the network now.
What's the thing at the top? It's just like it's the actual thing, and then you link it down to the one below.
Yeah. So the thing at the top is the switch, and then the one below is where it's a patch panel where you connect everything to. So this is connected directly to the switch, so I have to find another one, but I'm gonna have a video on that.
What's the point of the switch?
So you can it's a lot easier manageable, and it's easy to like plug and play things as opposed to reaching around and grabbing shit. So this goes in here. We're going to turn off to our wolf. Oh, wait. Once this is closed, it's closed. Alright, Wolfman's here. Now, grab Penny, baby. Penny's just gonna sit on top. Unfortunately, I have to use this outrageously long network cable, which is so overkill for this. Long way, long way. This is literally the only network cable I have.
So we bring the other one. See the flying yellow.
Yeah, well, if you got something, bring it, because this is my last refill. I cut that a bit high. I wanted to be safe when I cut it, in terms of like space. So now I'm gonna have to seal that off, but that's okay. I'm gonna have to. No, I'm not going for there yet. I'm trying to see which one of these I can hook it to. So go to 21. I have to lower it down. Yeah, that's not gonna reach anyways. It's gotta come all the way back around. Alright, this is my one. Why? I think they're on all the cables still in. So I'm gonna run this through here. Run you across. I need to leave it like this. Let me get the new cables. So let's go into 8. So into 8. Here we go. Into 8. And then I need a small patch cable. These. see you again in a minute. All right. Yeah. Speak to the boys. Speak to the boys. Just tell them what you think. Okay, so we were going to do a debriefing. We tried to do a debriefing interview. I'll lift it up so they can see us both. Last time we tried to do a debriefing interview. So we're going to do it now. The audio for the debriefing video didn't really work, so I'm going to ask Tony a slew of questions while we're just wrapping up here, and he's going to kind of give you the go-ahead on what he felt like, I guess, the first time he was here, and we'll just go through a series of questions. So basically, if you guys don't know, I'm sure you do, Tony reached out to me via Discord. He lives in Toronto, so it's not far from Ottawa, and he asked me to host some of his servers. I looked at my current setup and said, sure, I probably need to make some modifications to the venting, which I've done, but I don't need any more power, so yeah, come on, and we'll build you a whole other rack, basically. So he took a big leap of faith in trusting somebody that he didn't know, and it was just a YouTuber like me. So I asked him what transpired in his mind to reach out to just a random person to host his stuff.
Yeah, like I think at the end of the day, I needed some help. I had overbought a bunch of RTX A2000s. Like you see here, there's 48 here, which you know, some of them were hosted across the home, some of them were hosted across the condo. It was getting to the point where, you know, I just couldn't manage with, you know, open air frames, and I wanted to put it into servers. So, you know, I saw, you know, the attractiveness of the servers. There's a lot of synergies between some, like all the components are pretty much reused. You know, some of the fans are extra, but for the most part, there's a lot of synergies between moving from open air to a server case style. And I think the server case style is a lot more efficient kind of management of heat. So, you know, in the condo, I'd have the AC on, pretty much powering the coldness of the entire condo. Yeah, like I think someone that doesn't really have technical background, I jumped into this really without pretty much, I guess, I'd say, like, you know, on one part it was discipline, because, you know, you're building yourself, but there's a lot of things that when you start building it that you realize that, you know, just better planning is needed, right? So things like, you know, even noise, right? Like everyone talks about noise, but like you I think maybe part of it's like overconfidence, thinking that, you know, you can kind of, you know, bear with the noise, and, you know, in the first few months, like, it's okay, like, you know, you think you're making a bunch of money, and after a while, you know, during the bear markets, you realize it's not acceptable to really, like, you know, bring people over to your home and cancel stuff over. Like, there's a lot of things I think this is more professional, more sustainable, the long term. Yeah, and I think all that kind of transpired. Like, you know, you could see it kind of reflective in the build, right? Like the build here, you don't really need the best motherboards, but part of these motherboards I bought because in the bull run, when you had to get the GPUs, you had to buy the motherboard and some like power supplies as well to get the GPU. So these, you know, motherboards could easily be, you know, in excess of $200, and now you could buy like both the CPU and the motherboard for like less, right? There's a lot of lessons to be learned. I think part of it is it's not just getting into the game. I think, you know, if you want to get into the game, it has to be something that's easily replicable, right? Like you don't want to just grow, but not be growing at, you know, something that's not
At a random, inconsistent, yeah. Like you can't
pace.
just start throwing shit at the wall and expect to grow.
Yeah.
Without really taking things into account about, like, yeah, so thermals, sounds, which is why I built this room, and it's amazing. I love the fact that I designed it from the get-go, and I've been building in server cases since before ever. I mean, I've always been using server cases, so Uh, anyways, let's see here. Yeah. So the other thing I asked him is, now that he's seen the process of building, so he's got a whole bunch of octo miners at home, and he bought these server cases, a couple of these ones down here before he actually reached out to me. After you saw how long it took us in the process of actually building these computers, would you do it again, or would you still just go buy octominers? Look at the camera. Look at the camera. They all want to see you.
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, like capital is very scarce. Like I think this way, the way even now, like because of the old inefficiencies of how I approached it, like the power supplies are different brand and stuff like that. So if I were to do it again, like I would probably do it like with this as opposed to the octominers, because one, the octominers cost a lot of money, and like to actually get, you don't want to just get your principal back, right? You want to get a return, and just paying down those octominers, like you're thinking about like when you actually pay down those octominers, and here, right, like you're really just adding some fans and some like a server case, but everything else is pretty much from an open air rig. And back in the days, like the open air rigs, like they could easily cost $200 on Amazon, or like even $150, right? So like buying these Roosevelt cases on like discount when you can, and like scaling up this way, just the overall approach and mentality got to be sustainable. Like I think, yeah, like I think I learned a lot in this business venture, just kind of like simplify where possible, and not buy like random shit when you don't need it, right? So
Yeah, some of the things that I was very good at doing was I knew the requirements for mining getting into it, and so I bought secondhand everything. Like everything during, like, basically before it was hitting, I was buying secondhand motherboards. Like, people were selling these things. Like, I mean, back in the day, you could sell a 6-slot PCI lane motherboard for $125, and I was napping those up. I was literally just going and buying computers for like 150, $200, and then building a server out of it. And like, yeah, the most expensive part of it was the graphics cards, obviously, but the fans. The fans do cost a lot of money when you're buying this many fans. But as I just demonstrated, you need that type of air pressure to get it out and keep it out, keep the heat out. So it is a cost, but it's definitely no octominer cost. And
but like even like when all these are turned on, like the fans are much more silent than the octominer fans, because like the octominer is like brute force is trying to like cool things, right? Like this because you have like the heat management on the other side, and like it requires a lot more, I guess, probably like, just random brute force push, right? So
yeah, so actually let's I think there's a lid.
yeah, yes,
Got the lid. It's just right there. Do you guys have any questions? Like, yeah, if Octominer was cheap, then it would obviously be like a obvious buy, but it's not cheap, and the shipping of it is not cheap.
Yeah, the shipping cost me $1,000 US, and
That's just insane.
yeah, it's yeah, I mean, that's what it is. And like the octominers, like you need 240 volts, and like
Oh yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that.
you gotta set it up in a way that
That's right.
Yeah,
I
like-
didn't even think of that. You have to have 240 volt for those, even if you're just using like A2000s in there.
yeah, like some of the newer models, I think the X8 can allow you to be like kind of residential, but like you can select the lower power option. But still, like it doesn't fit in like a server rack. So I did investigate like data storage in place, but like they want you to put it in a 4U, or not 4U, but like in a rack fit that fits in a server rack, right? So bringing octominers there that doesn't work either, right? So it limits you to, I think, doing it more professionally like this.
I wouldn't call this professional, but compared to some people's stuff I've seen online,
Yeah.
this is. I mean, I subscribe to all those YouTubers that shill the Octominer, as well as people who have like a huge farms that actually don't really know how to manage them properly. Like they have so much hash power, but they don't know how to manage the servers, and they don't know how much power is being used by this server, by that server. Everything I have has been charted out and like optimized to the point where I can have all of this in my basement and I don't have to worry about anything, any surges, anything, any heat. It's all been planned out. So that's one of the benefits of doing it this way, because yes, it's a little bit more expensive, but than open air rigs. If you were to have, so we have 48 A2000s here and 22 cards of like 3080s and 3070s here. So that's 60, 70 cards. That's 70 cards, right? So we have 70 cards in this space here. If you were to do that with open air rigs, I mean, the space would just be
Massive.
massive.
Yeah.
There's 70 cards in this small little area here, which is really cool. So I think these are all up. We have to change the name of Wolfman on. Let's take a look to see if it's actually booted. Yeah, I got it here. So we've got Hangman, Nine, Booster, Slider.
Oh man, you got a refund for your X8 Ultra. Oh.
How do you get a refund?
I don't know how you shipped it back.
Uh-oh. I'm missing one here. So,
I think the Octominers is because like the circulation and the heat is going out. You gotta vent the heat out from the Octominers as well.
Alright, we're just trying to boot them back up. Yeah, it's such an inefficient space for the X8, and I mean it's good for what you get. You get a lot of hardware, but it's just so damn expensive.
So Christian R says the X8 Ultra has the biggest gap between GPU slots compared to the X12 and is still overheated. I was able to get a refund because it arrived with shipping damage.
Oh, wow. Yeah, well, it's not a solution to heat though. Like, it's a solution, but it's not the solution. You still have to be able to exhaust the heat outside after the case, right? And you still have to be able to cool the front of the case to
Yeah.
make that work. It's not a full solution. Okay, so this is slider. Yes. I need to print out from our label so you can't read it.
It's also like the yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so we're not seeing a few of these online. So Penny's on, Hangman's on, Rooster's on, Slider's on. But for some reason this one's not showing up right now. This one. Okay. Oh, it just takes a long time to show up on there. Okay. So Penny's on. Yeah, it takes a long time. Rooster, Slider's on. So we're waiting on Iceman. And then all right, boys. Yeah.
And Christian says, I tried the cooling to see if it was worth buying a setup, but they're not good enough for high powered GPUs. With 4U chassis, my problems with cooling were solved.
Oh, you're going for your chassis?
Yeah.
Really? Yeah, well, you get to jam pack more cooling for sure. That looks pretty sick, but we're missing a couple of servers here. Iceman was working though. I think it just takes. The good thing. Well, one of the good things of having it in the back, if I can get the I/O, if this working, and I just plug in the cable from here to see what the issue is, as opposed to having to like, yeah, figure out what I'm like, pull it out and then like install it into a thing. I think I remember some of these took a while to boot up, but Wolfman's not showing up now.
Wolfman's the one that we just did, though.
Yeah. So, feeling it's just because
So you will network cable?
no, it shouldn't be the network cable, but so this is 23 into 4, yeah, and 1, 2, 3, 4, those are all on. So that's working, the network's working. Only have 4. Why is Iceman not doing it? Oh boys, this is the fucking fun part. You get it all put away and then like you test every server before you put it back. And then you put it back and it's not showing up all this. So anyways, we're not gonna bore you guys too much more because I'm probably gonna have to just troubleshoot some of this at the end. But yeah, if you guys have any questions for us, just ping him now and we'll try to answer them before we peace out because he's got a long ride home and I'm probably gonna have to troubleshoot some more of these. Just I don't know what's going on right now with them, but we've got all the power, we've got everything that we need to do, we've got the positioning of them. Might just have to pull 1 or 2 out, take a look at what's going on. All right. Well, say your goodbyes to Tony. He's going to be heading home. We successfully built them all. For some reason, some of them are not showing up in Hive right now, which I'm going to have to look at, which I'll do after. But it requires me to take some of the servers out. So right now we're missing. So Slider's there. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing Iceman, which was working, and then the new one, which we don't have named yet. So slider is working. Penny is working. Hand's working.
Fun talking to you guys too. Thanks, Brian.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, thanks
Ryan,
for keeping
that
us
was
company,
awesome.
man.
Yeah, seriously, you stayed the whole way through.
Yeah.
Hit that. Make sure to hit that sub. Nice. Yeah, this is pretty cool. So I gotta fix the back of this, and then I'll turn my servers back on. But first, I'm gonna say goodbye to Tony, and then probably tackle. We're missing 2 servers, so we're missing Iceman and Wolfman, which is the one that we just did, which is weird. But I'll be able to take those out, so that you'll have your full hash power by the end of the night, hopefully. I took tomorrow off, so.
You can do it tomorrow. You don't have to do it tonight.
My OCD says I have to. Oh, he's asking if you have a channel, Tony. I think Tony's going to get into broadcasting soon.
I do not, but definitely follow Canada Computing, or sorry, Custom Computing,
Yeah.
and yeah, maybe I'll show up in future as well.
Yeah, well, he says he's got a whole bunch of other servers, and I might need to get some more power, so
Yeah.
might need to expand. Expand, boys. Did you guys hear? The merge is delayed. The merge is not happening. The merge is delayed. You heard it here first, baby.
Yeah.
Keep mining. Yeah. So, but anyways, thanks everyone for joining. This is pretty cool to have a couple of people tune in.
Yeah. Thanks everyone.
And yeah, it looks pretty sick, eh? I'll do a whole video and sex shots of it later. But again, cheers, keep mining, and thanks again.
Yeah.
Peace, everyone.